Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right in. Hey Nikki, so I've just turned 21 and for the first time in my life, I've been getting asked out on dates. Usually they're guys I've met at parties or a bar or sometimes through a friend, but I've been finding that I get really scared and sometimes even cancel because I feel like I just can't face spending one-on-one time with someone who's basically a complete stranger. I am fairly shy and I know that doesn't help, but do you have any tips on first dates or dating in general that might help me out? Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say, okay, this isn't bad, this is just maybe advice. Looking for someone to date, typically I would say guys you're gonna meet at a club or a bar might not be the type of guys that you would wanna date. Because in my opinion, it sounds like you weren't going to these places looking for dates, it just kind of happened. But in my opinion, a guy that is maybe at a bar or a club looking for a date is maybe looking for a certain type of person. Someone who maybe, I don't know, maybe more of a party girl or something like that. That's a generalization. I don't think that's true of everyone. I'm not saying everyone that goes to bars or clubs. I go to bars or clubs sometimes. Like, they're not bad people. I'm just saying maybe someone who is looking for someone there might not be looking for the same things as you. That being said, if you get a good vibe from someone and you feel like they seem like a good person, I'm just really, really scared, I would suggest maybe going on a double date, like saying to them like, yeah, let's meet for coffee, would you mind, or let's get lunch, would you mind if my friend and her date comes as well? Like we can all kind of like hang out together and chat. That might be a good option to kind of break the ice. Another option would be, how do you word this? Going and doing something where you have something to do. So it's not just, you're like sitting in silence staring at each other. Like, okay, something where you can do something, like maybe going to a theme park or, well, that might be a little over the top, or going to a movie but grabbing something really quick before, like some coffee, or going to like a game of mini golf or a Dave & Buster's or something like that where you can actually do something so that if there are any awkward silences, you're like, let's go do this, you know, whatever. And then I've said this before, I'll say it again, make sure when you're trying to make friends or you're going on dates, ask the person questions about them. Ask them like, you know, where do you work? Do you enjoy working there? How'd you get into that field? So where were you raised? Like, do you have any siblings? Like what are your siblings' names? How far apart are you? Were you close to your siblings? Are you close to your family? Does your family live out here? Like just ask them questions. A, you'll get to know the person and see if you want to date them anyways. B, it takes the awkwardness out of the situation and it just gets things going. And C, it makes that person feel more comfortable because people, for the most part, unless they're weird and stalkery, like people who are interested in them. So that would be my advice to you. And if you are looking for dates in places and you want to know places like other than clubs or bars, I would suggest maybe getting involved in some type of like in clubs, like, you know, maybe community service clubs or clubs that kind of work with like pet lover clubs or craft clubs or like, or my favorite where I met Dan is finding maybe like a church group you can get involved in, like a college age group, a young adult group. It's cool. Some people might be scared off by this, but in college age church groups, usually you're finding people who are like looking for people to marry. And it's not like, who do I want to marry? Who do I want to marry? That's not what I mean, but they're not looking at girls just like, okay, who do I want to hook up with? Who's going to be a good time? It's like, hey, who can I get to know? Like, because I want to get married at some point. They're looking at people more seriously. So that'd be my advice to you. Check it out. I don't know what I was talking about. Check it out. I don't know why I just did that. That was me on auto mode. So, okay, send your messages to asknikkip@gmail.com and I'll see you later. Bye. If you kind of feel guilty, kind of gross, and you sit there and you're kind of just like, ugh, then you know you weren't shopping from the right place. Because I don't think shopping is wrong. I love shopping. I love buying things. Like, honestly, you should spend your money on things that you like because otherwise I don't really think there's a point to be like working so much.